Hey guys, what is up? Red Master here, and welcome to Archetype Analysis number 3. Now today, we're going to go a bit deeper with the analysis video. We're going to explore some more, for today's video at least, we're going to explore an archetype that's not so sort of thought about as much as compared to some of the other ones that we have. I'll just bring it up right now. It is the rats. I know when I search in rats, a lot of different things come up. But we're going to go over the rat archetype. Now, the rats, you may not see much in a lot of situations, but the rats are effective, to say nonetheless. If you want proof, I will link my latest hidden combo video down below. I built a rat kingdom deck, if you will, and we did a quick game with that. Turned out to be pretty effective in what I was able to produce, but let's go into the actual archetype. Now, what your rats are going to be centered around for any type of rat deck are going to be these guys. These rats right here. 0 gold, 1/1 unit. But you don't really necessarily have to have rats to make a rat deck, and I'll explain. The rat cards you don't really need in the deck, because a lot of it is generation. Rats, I think, are considered to be sort of token cards, and by that, cards that are able to be generated from other cards, if you will. Example would be the rat hovel. That sort of spawns in a rat at the beginning of your turn. That's an example of like token generation, if you will. And since they're so weak, so we labeled them tokens because, you know, you don't really think that they do much per se. However, rats are sort of like the way to prove that token generation decks are good in this game. They do produce some sort of result, if you will, a victory, and I think it's because a lot of it is derived from, you know, having rats associated with the ninjas. They can gain a lot of movement, and with a lot of cards here to generate rats and to increase their speed, you'll likely see rats deck primarily used in a fashion which you are being rushed by them. So to go in some further analysis, let's go over each of these support cards that are associated with rats. First of all, we have Filthy Peasant. Now, the Peasant is what you're going to be seeing in a rat deck thrown out immediately first turn, if it is drawn, of course. It's somewhat of a 1/1 rat companion. It's pretty good. It is a 2/1 card by itself, but it has that extra 1/1 rat with it, which can be pretty good early game depending on what your opponent has. Likely it'll be countered by a Chaotic Storm or blocked by a Spitefish or another Peasant. But that's alright. They're usually just to get the momentum going, and usually playing them indicates that you are maybe doing something with rats or have some sort of plan with rats. But that is not necessarily always the case. Peasant, just for its summon, is pretty useful to start off a game. Now, moving on to the two buildings definitely associated with rats. The first, like I said already, rat hovel, or rat-infested hovel. A prime example of the token generation. The rats coming in every turn is useful, since you don't want to be wasting hand space with those rats. You can instead use this, and that can give you a rat every turn as long as you keep it protected. From there, you can boost the rats with House of the Ninja Rats. This is what I mentioned about movement, rats gaining a good amount of attack and speed as well. Your rats gain +1 attack and +1 movement. Definitely useful when you have two, maybe, yeah, 1 or 2 of these. 1 by itself isn't that strong. 2 usually indicates that you're going to be having some fast rats dart across the board with an attack of 3 or more if you have blacksmiths or armories involved. So these two in combination can work very well in getting rid of some of the early game stuff that you see. However, keep in mind a prime weakness of the deck, or the archetype in general, is that rats don't necessarily have health buffs, if you will. They're like stuck at 1 health, which makes them sort of like, you know, a rat. They can cause a problem, and you just gotta bat them away because they're so small and weak and whatnot. Moving on now to our big rat king. This is what you definitely need if you are going to run a rat deck. He summons 4 rats immediately out of the summon, so your entire back row just got filled with rats. Keep in mind, if you have anything in that back row, a rat will not summon in its place, and you essentially don't get all 4 rats. Always keep Vanish nearby, a Vanish or a Vanish Strike, to teleport your Rat King. These are especially useful to generate even more rats for your opponent to deal with. And with cards like House of the Ninja Rat's already up, and other cards like Armory, right here, and Blacksmith, they can definitely gain a lot of attack power to rush an opponent, which is why I think rats are kind of fun. But like I said, though, their health isn't their strongest point. They're going to be taken out very easily if you don't do something to buff their health. What I recommend, however, is cards like Nunchuck Nun. The Armory does work too in this case, because it does give the 1/1, so it also gets that health. But Nun is also pretty effective, especially since rats are usually considered a Ninja Crusader anyway. On death, the Nun will give all units 1/1, so that's another attack plus another health. So again, you could really boost your rats to about 3/2, 2/2, or even 4/2. Which, again, it's not going to give so much trouble to your opponent, but it'll definitely help block things like Chaotic Storm and or some more removals like that. Not stuff like Ice Blast or Special Delivery. For that, you do need another Nun in place or an Armory so that your rats will become look at that 3 health to block those big 2 damage large range or AoE cards. So pretty much that is the rat archetype as a whole. I know this was a very short video. I don't even know how long it is. 7 minutes or 8 minutes, I guess that's good enough for a quick analysis of the rats. Again, if you do want to see gameplay of a rat deck in action, see what I created and concocted, you could always check out the hidden combo video, which I will link below. It'll give you a full deck build and some gameplay to really show how rats can move around and run around and be all kinds of crazy. But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, maybe share with your friends, and always comment down below what you thought of this analysis. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. All the support you guys give from that subscribe button does go a long way, and I thank you very much if you are subscribed. And that's pretty much it. So, until the next video, guys, stay gaming.